Hey guys, Super Technocat here with another video that I've been wanting to make for a while. I haven't gotten around time to do this just because I just been so busy with school. I mean, it's getting close to the end of the year, and of course, it's senior year, so a lot of stuff wrapping up, exams and stuff like that coming up. So I've been lazy and haven't felt like doing anything because, of work and school, and I just don't feel like doing anything. But, I have a little time tonight that I wanted to kill, so figured I could take this time to show you guys just a preview and a couple of stuff that I got recently in my Kmart haul about 2 weeks ago when both the Algona and Charles City Kmart stores closed for good on February 16th, 2020. So I guess we can go ahead and get a kind of a small overview of what I recently acquired. Right here I have just a couple more Kmart stuff that I got from both the Algona and Charles City Kmart. Right here I have a tax exemption receipt that I got from the Charles City Kmart that the city of Floyd made a purchase back in 2010. It's hard to see, but 2010 was around there somewhere, but it's got the store number and the address stamped onto the sheet. Hey, look at this. It's even got Kmart on the back of the receipt, too. That's kind of interesting, actually. And then right here we have another printed version of it. So I think that's kind of unique of how that's on there. But one of the main reasons why I grabbed this, wanted to grab this was because it has that stamped onto there. So it's kind of a neat little piece. Kmart late October, late November catalog, kind of introduction to Christmas sort of things. You got VTech, Barbie, Hatchimals, more stuff, mostly toys. Just had to grab these because, I wish I could have worked here, but can't now. Now this is a little something interesting. Now this is kind of interesting. This is kind of a continuation of the coupons to go sign, except this time this came off a shopping cart from the Charles City Kmart. So it's kind of interesting. And then for no apparent reason, I just had to grab a Kmart gift card. No money on this. Can't use it anyway because they're all gone now. But just had to grab it. Now this is something that's kind of a little depressing, at least for me. But this was kind of like a little advertising that the Kmart in Algona at the time was hiring. It was around Christmas time, but they're no longer, so. Another discount thing. If I go to the bottom of all my letters, I have a couple die-hard batteries. Because why? Because both Sears and Kmart were known for their die-hard battery brands, and one of the reasons why I kept this is because right there, it's hard to make out, but it says distributed by Sears Brands Management Corporation. And that's one of the reasons why I kept it, because it's from Sears. And I'll show you something interesting that this came out of. I'll show you that in a bit. It's kind of a surprise. This hasn't changed. I still have the old big Kmart sign. And then for no reason, on my bedroom door, I have a random store closing sale sign. Why do I have this on my door? I have no idea. Moving up here, I have one of my other favorite posters that I acquired from the Algona Kmart, showing a list of brands that Kmart had at the store at the time, like Essential Home, Jaclyn Smith, Die Hard, Craftsman, Kenmore, which they no longer have a contract with, Basic Editions, and more various brands. And then with an addition, I have my favorite part. Yep, I have myself a Kmart checkout lane light. I wanted to get one from the Algona Kmart, however, all of them were sold, and I ended up getting one on eBay, so it just looks like the lampshade itself, right? Wrong. I actually have it wired up. I just flip that switch, and it turns on. So I guess you could say I have a Kmart checkout stand in my room, except there's no cash register, so how can I make a purchase? This is actually fairly simple. I grabbed a couple paper insert posters from a couple of the checkout lights from both the Algona and Charles City Kmart. I just pulled them out and just stuck them in here because, you know, there was nothing in here and I wanted to put some in here to fill it up. So I put that there. This is kind of sentimental to me because just the saying just kind of hits me, and it's got the Kmart logo down there. Got the K up here, number 3, and then looking down here, you can see my lamp. I took off my lamp shade, and rather than having to put my arm over here, it's an LED bulb, by the way, so I don't burn myself, but because it takes a lot of effort having to reach over and pull the string, and since I don't want to do that, I have the switch down there by itself, so I can just flick that on and off, and it turns the light on and off, which is very convenient for me. Well, are you guys ready to see the grand collection item of all? Well, this is one of my favorites, and it's possibly one of the coolest items that I have in my collection, and possibly one of the rarest, too. You guys see it? Yep, it's a Kmart blue light. The one and only Kmart blue light that I got from the Charles City, Iowa Kmart before it closed for good 2 weeks ago on February 16th, 2020. I'm very happy to have this. Most people don't get a chance to collect something like this, as they are getting rarer, or most of the time probably very rare to get them at all, as most stores have closed and other people snag them first. But as you can see, I managed to snag one before it closed, so I guess I could show you guys more in depth of how this blue light works, and it's possibly one of the best things that I have. And those die-hard batteries that I showed you earlier, they came out of that. They came out of the blue light itself. At first, the blue light didn't work, but I popped 4 AA batteries in it, and works like so. So I'll show you more in depth. So the modern Kmart blue light special, this is the Kmart blue light from the resurrection of it in 2015 and onward, or they kind of stopped doing this a few years ago, but they just kept it for aesthetic purposes. But so basically how it works is there's a little LED light that sits on top of this huge pole with a big thin piece of paper that is around the pole that says "Attention Kmart shoppers." It's pretty simple, and you also have a button down here to adjust whatever height you want the light to be desired at a certain height. You've got 4 legs that spread out in every direction, as well as wheels on the bottom if you ever want to move the light to a certain area. But I have it locked onto the ground for a reason, but it's so it doesn't tip over, and little handle down here if you ever need to transport the light anywhere when carrying it around. The whole thing itself actually is in very good condition, despite the fact that when I pull this back, on the piece of paper, you could barely see it, but there's a little dent in the paper there, right on the E where it says shoppers. Now that the camera's focused, you can kind of see it, but overall though, when I just flip it around, it's like as if it was never even there. But overall, it's actually in great condition. And of course, this could move if you want to, but the way they did this is they actually zip tied it around the pole to prevent it from going up or down. So it's a little annoying because you can't really adjust it to any more height than it already is because of the way it's zip tied around the pole. Now, it's super easy. So with this light, it just comes off like so, because there's 2 magnets on the bottom of the light that stick on the pole to prevent it from sliding around. So it's super easy. So when I take the light down and set it down here,
meanwhile,
so after you unscrew this, it just comes off like so. It's basically this big thick piece of blue plastic that covers the whole light itself. And then this is the light itself. As you can see, it's there's 4 LEDs on 5 sides total, basically in a star-like pattern, and you got your battery pack here in the middle, 4 AA batteries, and then you got your button contacts right there. So basically, when you push the button, I probably don't recommend doing this, but when you push the button, it turns the light on. It's very cool to see it work in action without this on, because you can actually see the entire light itself in action. Even Max, my dog, is impressed. But that's not what we're here to see right now. We're here to see this, the Kmart blue light. But yeah, it was a pain in the butt at first to get this thing off because it was screwed on. It was twisted on so tightly. It took us quite a long time to get this thing off, but after a while we managed to get it off, and I managed to put, as you can see, 4 AA batteries in here. As soon as I can just get it back on. Ugh. Okay, now I have it tight enough to, at least to a point where I can unscrew it whenever I want to, but at least enough to where the big plastic thing doesn't come off. And basically what you want is the button itself should be visible on this little opening here, because so that way you can turn it on whenever you want to without having to take the light off in order to push the button. Since I am so OCD, I like the light itself just perfect to make sure it's even and to make sure that it doesn't stick out on any sort of edges. So when it's back on, you can turn it on whenever you want and have yourself a blue light special. Attention Kmart shoppers, for a limited time only, we currently have a blue light special occurring in our store right now. JCPenney magazines, now 50% off. That was random, but, you know, Kmart was known for their blue lights. So, in remembrance of the Kmart blue light, I have a blue light, and I'm very happy to have this. Well guys, to be honest, that pretty much wraps up my video of my entire Kmart haul that I've recently acquired from both Kmarts here in Iowa, now that are closed. I know it's weird. I know I'm a nerd for collecting all this stuff, but, you know, it's something that I like to do. I like to collect stuff from retailers that have come and gone over the years, and Kmart was a big part of my childhood, as my family loved shopping there when they were around here in Iowa. And my grandma, as you know, well, in case you didn't know, my grandma was always obsessed with Kmart blue light specials, so I guess you could say it's kind of unique to have it since she was always obsessed with those. But the point is, I'm just very happy to have what I have right now. Well guys, to be honest, I guess that pretty much wraps up the video of my latest Kmart fixture collection haul that I've recently acquired. You guys know I'm a nerd. I know I'm weird for collecting all this stuff, but, you know, it's who I am. It's what I like to do. I like to collect stuff from retailers that have come and gone over the years, for example, Kmart. And, you know, Kmart was a very big, popular thing in the U.S. back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, but, of course, when the downfall happened in 2000, but, you know, since most Kmarts are gone now, I guess you can say the blue light special is kind of pretty much done for them now. But, you know, Kmart was a big part of my childhood and my family, since my family always loved shopping at Kmart. And of course, my grandma was always obsessed with the blue light specials that happened at any time at a Kmart store, you know. So, but hope you guys enjoyed looking at the stuff that I recently acquired. I'm sure some of you guys might be jealous, but, you know, it's pretty rare for someone to get something cool, for example, like the blue light, because most people don't get something cool like this, but I have something cool like it. So, hope you guys will stay awesome. Enjoy the rest of your day if you're watching this. Videos probably from here on out to the end of May of 2020 will probably be kind of slow with school and work for me, so, but don't forget to stay tuned, and I will hopefully upload more content later this year. So see you guys soon.